Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to you. It is officially fall. We have a great co host today and a great topic for you. So let's get started with an all new episode of Project Joy Live. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to you. It is Monday, September 23rd, 2024. Not gonna say it, but happy September, happy fall, everybody. We had the first day of fall yesterday. So excited. The weather was beautiful yesterday. It was just and then every now and then a little breeze would go and you'd be like, oh, got a little chill there for a moment. So fall is definitely in the air and I am here for it. You guys know that I do not. This is Jessica time of year. I don't do well in the summertime. I'm just miserable and hot and sweaty and frankly it's just not my favorite. We did have a good time this summer. Though I'll give you a little quick summer recap. We did a lot of concerts this summer, had a lot of family time this summer, and had a lot of new beginnings and things closing up at because we know that those go hand in hand as well. And it's been interesting. It's been an interesting summer. We'll go we'll go with that, but a good one nonetheless. We have a great guest today, a great co-host, a really good topic for you. Can't wait to dig into this today. So let's talk about it. Oh, let's try that again. You guys, I have a new computer here at my workstation and mouse and all of that fun stuff. And I'm not used to it yet. So I just get clicky and happy and everything lights up rainbow. I think I told you that my mouse lights up rainbow, the computer, the keyboard, everything. So it's very distracting. I just start clicking things and then clicking wrong things, and that's that. So just bear with me, please, as I'm thoroughly entertaining myself over here. Let me know how you guys are doing in the comments, where you're joining from, what's bringing you joy today. As I mentioned, we have a great show. Miss Brittany Floyd is back with us to co-host today, and we have a very special topic for you guys. The joy in minding your own business. I'm sure we're gonna bring a humorous yet very real conversation to this topic. And I think it's a good one. I really do. And so we're gonna dive into that today. I've got some national days to talk about, kicking us off here really briefly, and then of course what's happening on the Breakthrough Show Network and birthdays and all that at the end of the show as well. So please stay tuned with us today. Let's check in on the comments this morning. Miss Teresa was here in that VIP seat, followed very close behind by Miss Danielle. Good morning. Good to see you. We have Miss Mandy here today. Grand Rising. Good morning. Miss Nancy is here. Miss Kim is here. I like it. We're here. We are here with the joy this morning. We are. And I have to show you guys. So speaking of Kim, boop. Kim is amazing and has the activating the flower of love book, and she also has cards, and her cards are beautiful. If you guys can see here, they have some beautiful shapes and things like that. I need to know this, Kim, because I have pulled this card 9,000 times. And I think it's fitting because we're always talking about, being the joy on this show. And we talk about being on Beyond 2D. We've talked about being on the Breakthrough Show before. It's a topic that comes up a lot in my circle. And so I keep pulling this over and over and over, and you guys see it being okay. I just want to read this to you guys this morning because I thought it was so beautiful. And I love it's one of my favorite images as well. Activate your central core, your life force energy, and let it guide you towards your true purpose. Release all that no longer serves you, align with your higher self, and embrace the light that is within you. Take a deep breath and feel the energy coursing through you, unleashing your inner fire and awakening the brilliance of your being. Let go of all fears and doubts and trust in the resilience of your spirit. Embrace the cycle of life, the ebb and flow of death and rebirth, and surrender to the divine flow of the universe. Dance, breathe, and allow your inner inspiration to lead you toward your highest calling. Unleash your full potential and become the unstoppable force that you were always meant to be. Love that message. Love that message. And so we're gonna breathe in on that this morning as we get into our topic today of joy in minding your own business, which we're gonna have fun with. And so this is the lovely message from Kim this morning that I thought it goes beautiful with everything we talk about here on the show. So thank you, Kim, for that as well. Without further ado, you guys, I want to bring her back. She's our twice a month co-host here on Project Joy Live. Now she is the owner of Sacred Yen Secrets. She's a spiritual artist and my bestie. And I am so excited today that I can hear the music again. So I get to enjoy this with you guys. Everybody, please welcome back Brittany Floyd to the show. What happened? What happened to the end? What happened to the end? Please hold. We have to do that again. Brittany, okay, hold, guys. It's not good. It's not good. Okay, we're gonna try this again. Everybody, please welcome Brittany Floyd to the show.
It's Brittany, bitch.
Yes.
Listen, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
It's okay.
Okay, so, but I don't know what happened to the last part.
Oh, she froze.
Welcome back to the show.
Hi.
Welcome back. I'm so glad to have you back here.
I'm so glad to be here. It's a joy. It's always a joy to be up here with my bestie.
Yes. Yes, we're doing it today. And a really super fun topic. See, you messaged me about this topic, and I think you have to tell me if you were joking or did you think that I would actually run with that?
It was my mind. You know how like we have that dark humor that we have between each other that we share with one another. So really, it was just one of those intrusive thoughts, like, okay, and then I did the little quote, like, on today's episode. And then I really didn't think he was going to run with it, but I mean,
here we are.
Here we are.
Don't put something in my head like that, because I will. Run right with it. Because as you know, as used as that phrase is, right? Like, mind your own business. And we've heard it in several different ways. Mind your P's and Q's, mind your beeswax, mind your own business, mind your biz, mind yours.
Yeah.
Mind yours. We talk about, a lot of things like that. And so I think it would be good to talk about this in the sense of joy, because I think that it can tie together. And so we'll just dive right in this morning. So I'll start out by asking, what does it mean to you to mind your own business?
I used to think that minding my own business was like avoiding conflict or like and stuff like that. But really, truthfully, to me, it's about protecting my peace. It's like every time I stay in my own lane, I realize like it's way smoother over here, like, so that's to
it.
me. Yeah.
That's it. I mean, I feel that way too. Like, when we're kids, because we can rewind for a minute and talk about when we were growing up, like, and if our parents ever said to us, mind your own business, it kind of, you better keep your nose out of it. Like,
Yeah.
like it was a threat. It was a threat back then. You better mind your business right now. Um, and so, and I think I noticed the shift for myself as I got older too, of it being like, it's about protecting my peace at this point. So I guess I want to be really clear to people that I don't think and I think I would speak for both of us when I say that we don't mean to not speak up when the time is appropriate for you to speak up.
Yeah. Yeah,
You should
absolutely.
always, say things that are important when they're important, right? But yeah, it's about peace. And I think there's a difference between being nosy versus being genuinely concerned for someone, right?
Yeah.
How okay, so I
I feel like this show is about to get me in a whole lot of trouble.
Oh God, me
God.
too. But we're just gonna okay. So I can be a little bit nosy from
Me too.
time to time,
Absolutely.
and and yeah, because I think for me, like I need closure. So I'm about to validate myself, and my own nosiness over here is about to be what's going to happen. I'm just letting you guys know. I value closure in my life. I need closure in my life. So, I when I see something started, I need to know how it finished. I need to know how it finishes. And I don't frankly think that some of these shows that have left us hanging. Remember when we didn't have streaming services? We had to like
Mhm.
wait the whole week for the next episode to come out.
Oh yeah.
I think that contributed to my nosiness. Like, I need to know what's happening the next
Yeah,
episode.
absolutely. And do you think hold on, and do you think for a second that sometimes that we do that because it's really distracting from our own stuff, like, oh, these people have this stuff going on, and it kind of makes, if I'm being honest, it makes me feel a little bit better about my situation, if I'm being
Yes.
completely honest.
Yes, 100%. And I think that so many of us do that, whether we realize we do or not. We get caught up in the drama of other people's stuff because it does take us out of whatever we're personally going through. But it can also, if we get judgy and perceive their situation as worse than ours, it can make us feel better about ourselves. So we have to check ourselves in that way too. Like, am I being nosy right now because I think that my situation is somehow better?
Yeah.
Anybody else want to take a deep breath on that one? Okay. And is there a balance between minding your business and caring for others as well?
Yeah, I think there's curiosity is healthy, right? We're all curious to an extent, and we all like to be in the know. But there's like a big difference between I care and I care too much. Like care.
Yeah. 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 There's not much I can there's not much I can really say about that, but yeah. And I think maybe um it's good to care. And
Yeah,
it's really good to care. And I think that some of the things that we talk about as far as being leaders are learning to ask questions when we care, as opposed to just bleh when we care, and just being like, getting all speaking of minding your business, getting all in their business and offering lots of stuff instead of asking what do you need, or asking how you can contribute, and how would the person that's going to be on the receiving end of all of our caring how would they like us to
yeah,
care.
yeah, Absolutely. We're so complex.
Yeah.
We're such complex humans.
There's a
But you're
lot of
right.
sighing. There's a lot of sighing and heavy breathing out there in the audience today. Mandy said, I think my problem is I know people's business without wanting to. And I think
There's that.
that's where like we have to have some self-control. Like we really have to, even if we know something, that doesn't mean we have to be all in. And
Yeah.
I think that that's where I think that's where sometimes this mind your own business can kind of get a bad vibe to it is uh, it's really about awareness, but it's our choice to move from awareness into something else. Like how we react or what we do as a result of that awareness. That's where that mind your own business I feel like comes in.
Yeah. A huge part of that.
Yeah.
And I notice like when I start to when I start asking questions that don't directly affect my life, that's when I like have to check myself like, okay, like I need to really mind my own business.
Yeah. And we'll talk about some more about that. So when does minding your own business contribute to joy? So if we're focused on our personal growth and happiness rather than others' drama or even other people's growth and happiness,
Yeah.
we can create more inner peace than joy. There is relief that comes from not absorbing other people's stress. And for those of us who maybe you call yourself an empath, maybe you just recognize yourself as being more empathetic, maybe you feel like you're very intuitive, whatever that is, it's still our choice whether or not we want to take that on. And I remember in the early days of really tapping into my intuition, I used that as an excuse a lot. Like, well, I feel so much, so I'm not going to go out, or I feel everybody else's stuff, so I'm not going to participate, or whatever. But it's really our choice how much we take on, and it's our responsibility to energetically protect ourselves if we find ourselves in those situations. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I agree 100%, and I think that's kind of like what we stem. That's what led to the whole thing in the first place of this topic, was that sometimes I can get so involved into somebody, because I do care, right? I care, and I care deeply. Sometimes I care too much that it's detrimental to my own health. Like it's
Mm.
detrimental to my own mental health, because then I start stressing over that situation, and then I start taking on that things, and then it could lead me, it could lead me down a dark path as well. And like, of
Right.
course, over the years I've gotten better about that. Like, okay, I can only handle about this much, like, or, and then that's not to say some days I can handle a lot more. I can take in a lot more than other days. Is like, now that I'm truly know my body and truly know what like I could do in times that I can recharge and so forth. It's really that's what it really is like knowing my limits of, because I can get lost in that, caring too
Right.
deeply. Yeah.
Right. And you and I have talked about communication a lot and the importance of it and how much both of us really value good communication. And I think that where communication ties into this a little bit too is, so as we're talking about, our own ability to be able to handle certain stress, how many of us have just gone to a best friend and been like, this is what my day has been. Like we go, okay, we're best friends, so we just go and we don't say like pause and go, I wonder if even though they're our best friend, if they can handle us just word vomiting right now on the whole thing, like,
Yeah.
and we don't stop and ask sometimes. And and I think that that's important to know. Like, that's why it's good to know, like, is the person that you're friends with, like, are they more sensitive? Do they need a moment sometimes? And so I would love for us as a people to be more comfortable with open and direct communication in relationships. So before I word vomit, I go, so I had a really crappy day today. Brittany, are you available to hear about it right now? And if one of us is doing that, to be like, so I I I don't think I can handle that right now, but maybe we could talk about that again like tomorrow or something like that.
Yeah.
We got to be able to be comfortable and going like, hey, it's not a great time right now.
I got to check myself with doing that too, because I have a bad habit of just word vomiting, especially when I haven't built up. And you or Mandy usually are the first people that I go to about, like, I know, and I got to check myself with doing that too, because I do word vomit.
Yeah. And all of this that we're talking about today, I just want to be really clear in saying, um we're all of us are human, and we all
Right.
have those moments where we're so excited or so worried about something that, or riled up, that we just we just don't, we have no kind of filter at all. We all have those moments, and so this isn't about perfection. It's really just an awareness conversation today of going like, okay, what are we doing? How can we continue to improve ourselves? So when we mind our own business, we're less likely to get caught up in negativity or drama that doesn't serve us. It can be a lot. So when does we talked about when minding your own business contributes to joy, because it helps you keep your peace. But when does it block your joy? So when might minding your business too much isolate you from others or cause you to miss opportunities or connect for help? We're going to take a quick break.
Yeah. I feel so gut punched right now.
Okay. Let repeat that. Okay. Where might minding your own business too much isolate you from others or cause you to miss opportunities to connect for your help? Sometimes minding your own business can become a shield that we use to avoid deeper, meaningful relationships or addressing like things that really matter. Like, we'd be like, I'm just going to mind my business. And then that's a great way for us to not have to talk about things.
I do. I have the tendency to stay at home a lot because I am a highly sensitive person, right? And I do. I can only use that to an like to an extent. Like, I am keeping myself here in this bubble to, like, I guess, try to protect me. And we kind of talked about that on Soul Saturday Morning Coffee a little bit, like, of why that. But also, I feel like where it could be troublesome is like social injustices, like something that's very serious in that matter. And I feel like it could be important, like when somebody needs help, somebody truthfully needs help, that's when getting it involved, especially especially when it comes down to children, I feel like is, but yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's important for us to know when not to mind our own business, when someone needs help, and when things need to be talked about. I really, that's challenging for me. And you going back to the communication thing, when someone that, like, I trust me, I always need to talk about it. There's never there are times when I get really talked out. That was something that even last week I talked about with my own doctor. Like, we were talking about different options for different therapies, and I'm like, I'm out on talk therapy. I am talked out. I talk for my job all week long. I don't want to talk anymore. And because I can recognize these periods of time in my life where I spent all of this time not talking at all, and then all of the last little while just talking. Now I don't want to talk anymore. I'm done talking. Like I want to do something else. I want to throw rocks in the woods or something. Like
let's go.
Something. I want to do something else. So I think it's important to know, like, when we need to talk about something. And Nancy was talking about. I have to scroll back. Appreciate you guys interacting today, by the way. We love you so much. I wash a lot of dishes at my place, so keeping an eye on the neighborhood, especially the kids and the animals. And if I see something off, I am on it. In other words, I'm gazing out the window often. Like, and we appreciate that too. But I think and I guess we could talk about this now, like with everybody updating their social media all the time. I feel like with all these little updates, I don't think that has helped our cause to mind our own business.
It hasn't. It's like scrolling on social media is like walking into someone else's house and like snooping around. And look at all the people that we have on our friends list. No wonder that we're so exhausted. If I'm being 100% honest, no wonder we're too busy looking into other people's lives.
Yep. Well, and then I think we've become hypersensitized. So I feel like we see a lot of stuff on social media. We see a lot of stuff on the news. We see a lot of stuff in these horrific movies and shows that are out, that our brains don't know the difference between that and reality. And so when we are gazing out the window while we're washing dishes, it can be really easy to start storytelling with ourselves and not minding our own business. We might see one little thing, and next thing you know, we're down the rabbit hole to some episode of SVU in our heads. And it could be nothing. Maybe it's something, but it could be absolutely nothing, because we're so sensitized to all of these bad things that happen in the world that we go every time we see something.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
If my girls are watching this right now, they're probably like, oh God, here she goes, because they want to quote me on that now. I just say I don't like it. That's my shield that I put up. I don't like it. So we could talk about briefly, there's a fine line, and we talked about caring. There's a fine line between caring and interfering. So sometimes we're being helpful, but sometimes we're interfering in other people's choices or decisions. And that can be really challenging, right? When we really love someone and we want to see them do good because we care, but us choosing somebody else's path isn't actually helpful, right?
Right, absolutely. I agree. It's hard though. It is hard, especially when you do care for someone and you see that, like, you see it for yourself, like, because we're both pretty intuitive people, and when you see it, and it can be heartbreaking for you to be able to go through that, but there comes a point in time that you be like, okay, this is their journey. I have to love them where they are, and I have to, just accept this, even though you know that there is better for them, that there is more for them, but you have to let them do it. You have to let them go on their own journey.
Yeah. Sometimes we think we're helping, but we end up making things worse. And that's it's always interesting to think about little things like that at times when I try to jump in to help, and it's not even what I thought it was. So it just is stupid. It just doesn't even make any sense in the end, right?
Right.
And then we talked about, the social media, I feel like, does play a role. It's constant updates on everybody's lives, and pressure to react or comment on every situation. And I think sometimes stepping back can bring you a lot of joy. I was sharing on Saturday during coffee that a friend of mine posted something and I enjoyed it, so I commented on it, and then somebody who doesn't know me came and like read me the riot act, like all the entire comment underneath, and I was just like, I am not participating in this. And so I messaged my friend. I did exactly what we're talking about. I messaged my friend and I was like, I really appreciate your post. I'm just letting you know I'm not participating in this at all. Like, I'm just not doing it. And so she of course was like, she was like mortified for the comment herself, and she was like, I'm sorry, don't know why that happened, but I totally get that, why you're stepping back, and sometimes we just need to do that. And I think it's important, like a couple real life tips to mention is that you can unfollow people, something that Brittany reminded me of the other day because I was in such a huff. She was like, you can unfollow. I'm like, yes, love that button, hit it. Like, and I'm doing that a lot these days because I wrestle with being the joy because it's who I am, and also protecting my own joy. So I want to be able to be there to be the light, but sometimes what we do is we remove ourselves completely from a situation to protect our own peace, to mind our own business, but now we're not the light anymore because we've shut the light off. We take on our, and so there's a way to do that on Facebook where you can unfollow. You can still be the light, but you can unfollow. So you can actually do that.
You don't have to unfriend, just unfollow.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
You could be the light and shut the other lights off in the other room. the not so bright light. So how can we focus on our personal happiness and joy without feeling guilty for not getting wrapped up in other people's stuff? Because I think that could be a challenge as well. To just to go, okay, I'm protecting my peace, but not feeling like we're failing other people or we're backing off too much or whatever. Do you have any thoughts about that?
I think it's important for us to check in with ourselves first and foremost, and then secondly, clear communication between you and that other person, or and clear communication with yourself too.
So. Yeah, we love the knowing when to tap in and tap out. And sometimes I really feel like, a lot of this goes back to communication as well. Like if we're communicating with each other, the things that we want our loved ones to be involved in and the things we don't, I think that's important too. I have made it very clear to certain people, like I've used that phrase a lot this year, I am not participating in that. And I will say, I will compartmentalize within relationships and be like, knowing not just self-awareness but relationship awareness, that there are certain relationships that I'm not going to talk about certain things because I already know that we are on different parts of the universe on whatever thought that is. And it doesn't mean that I love them, but we're not going to have that conversation. And I think that it's important to recognize that within certain relationships too. And Lori Ann Davis was one of the first ones that ever like really put these thoughts into my head to start thinking about how I feel about them, and how sometimes we will think of someone as our spouse or our best friend or whoever we're putting on a pedestal, that they need to be all the things to us. And that's just not all of the things is in here, right? Like, and every person has their different roles in our lives. So I think that's a really important awareness to have too, is what is the role that each person plays in your life? And are you putting them on a pedestal? Are you making their thoughts and beliefs and their lives more prioritized than your own?
Yeah, I could definitely see where you're saying that, and that can also be a piece of your joy as well. If you, like, say for instance, I'm super excited about something, right?
Yeah.
And I come to you with something that maybe we don't have the same views on, or maybe
Yeah.
we don't have. To me, I know that I'm not gonna bring. I've had to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
Through disappointments and all of that stuff. Like, you have to know who you could talk to about certain things that do bring you joy or whatever. So that way, like, and you want somebody to have the same reaction, excited as for you,
Yeah.
because, and you're not going to go to somebody that will just is not as excited, because but then you also play a part in that too. Just because somebody doesn't react the way that you want them to doesn't mean that I have to, you know what I mean? Like, you still have to tap into that joy within yourself.
Yeah. That can be a huge thief of joy to
Mm-hmm.
and I've been there so many times myself where it's like I'm so excited about something and then I tell somebody and they just don't have the same, and it's this pressure to be like like sucked down into that, and I go back to the communication. And so I want to point this out really quick, because Danielle said we shouldn't put high expectations on our loved ones and friends, and I agree that and Mandy said, I agree, that's exhausting and draining. But what I want to say about that is that a lot of times, I really struggle with this, because I go back to this, that expectations are important in our lives. And this is why I cannot get on board with that godforsaken book that we have talked about without talking about 900 million times on this show. I'm getting all upset now, because expectations keep us safe. Expectations are normal. Expectations protect our peace. The problem is not expectations. The problem is that we're not communicating them.
Communicating.
The
Mm-hmm.
problem is that we're not having that conversation that goes, hey, like, if we're saying we're really good friends, like, and I don't hear from you for 6 months, I'm gonna worry. I'm going to be like, hey, so maybe we could make it a point to check in with each other every 6 months or something like that. I just don't like, I can't get behind that expectations are a bad thing. I really can't. What we need to do is communicate with them. And that's all I'm going to say. Go ahead, Brittany. I'm just going to let you have the show
I
now.
know, no, because you know what, I agree, because it is, if we hold ourselves to you know what I mean, like, if we are doing those, it is important to communicate.
Yeah.
I'm being all tongue tied because I agree. I agree that expectations are needed, right? And it's our job to communicate those expectations. Now, I'm not saying, like, if a person goes, and we're human, right? We make mistakes. So maybe sometimes that person didn't hold up to that expectation. But with and clear communication, that can be all solved.
Yeah. See, Mandy, we talk about that a lot in this house. I have BFs often. My girls all have BF. Everybody in this house. And we will literally say that. We'll be like, here we go. She's having a BF. Like, that's what we say all the time. But yeah. Like, because, and I think the reason why I get so riled up about that topic is because it's foolish to say that we shouldn't have expectations, because if someone slaps you, okay, if someone's like, boom, no, I have an expectation that you're not going to slap me. Period. End of story. And so
Yeah.
now I'm going to have a clear, you will not slap me. You're probably not going to ever see me again either. But, I think we all have expectations, and they're very real and they're very important. And if we are communicating those things, that's it. Justifying those expectations. That's what we're doing here. That's what it is, because it's important. Do you
It
have
is.
any?
I agree.
Okay, so we're supposed to be talking about strategies for keeping focus on your personal happiness without feeling guilty. We can meditate, we can stay grounded, we can focus on personal goals, we can set boundaries, and we can communicate. Communicate. Lots of things. Lots of things. Anything you want to finish up with this topic today, Brittany?
Just that minding your own business is like watering your own garden. Everything blooms a little better. That's it.
It is. There it is. There it is. All right. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back after this with birthdays and announcements and all that fun stuff. Let's all take some deep breaths together now. Here we go.
On April 4th, I was 90 years old, grandson of slaves. My parents were first generation free. A long time ago, I embraced the definition of love. Love is the experience of well-being. And a friend is one who mutually shares that experience of well-being with you, which opens up almost infinite creative possibilities.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com. Welcome back to Project Joy Live. Today is Monday, September 23rd, 2024. We are joined today by my fabulous co-host, Miss Brittany Floyd. Brittany, I'm just going to let you take it from here. I'm tired.
Don't do me like that.
I'm tired though. Tired. Nancy, we don't say that here. We don't say that. We don't say the title of that book here. It's like Voldemort. You're not supposed to say that either. Or Beetlejuice. It's like that. You're not supposed to say that. Okay. It's time to do birthdays, Miss Brittany. Here we go.
Let's go.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. All right. In the world of celebrity today, Bruce Springsteen is 75 years old today, everybody. Bruce Springsteen, 75. I enjoy Bruce Springsteen. He was at Mohegan recently. We did not go. He's not anyone that I was ever like, I really need to see him in concert, but I do enjoy Bruce's music. So happy birthday, Bruce Springsteen. Ray Charles, who passed away in 2004, had a birthday today. Love some Ray Charles. Mickey Rooney, such a great actor who passed away in 2014. My two favorite Mickey Rooney appearances. One was playing My Taylor in National Velvet with Elizabeth Taylor back in the day. Have you seen that movie, Brittany? About
What
the
is it called
horse?
again?
National Velvet.
No, I don't think I have.
Such a good movie about the horse. Elizabeth Taylor and Mickey Rooney and Angela Lansbury were babies in that movie. Such a good movie though. And then my other one, I love him in Pete's Dragon. Mickey Rooney is amazing. So happy birthday. Actor Jason Alexander, 65 years old today. Musical amazing singer and songwriter in the world music genre. Julio Iglesias, 81 years old today. The celebrities in my life, my cousin Joanne Solt Smith's birthday was yesterday. We have Jessica Lorimer, Dawn Renee, Buffy Blackwood. Tomorrow, two Breakthrough alums have birthday, Joel Solomon and Laura Mazzata. So happy birthday to both of them. Do you have any birthdays you're celebrating today, Miss Brittany?
I did not look, so if it is your birthday, I wish you a happy birthday. Don't take it personal.
Don't take it personal. I just okay. Happy birthday, everybody. All right, here we go. Let's get our birthday song on. Happy birthday,
Happy birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Happy birthday,
Happy
to
birthday
you. Happy
Happy
birthday, dear Bruce, Ray, Mickey, Jason, Julio, Joanne, Jessica, John, Buffy, Joel, and Laura. Happy birthday
birthday
to
to you.
you. Muppet Energy activated. Happy birthday to all those that are celebrating. I hope you're set up to have an amazing day. Let's talk about what's happening on the Breakthrough Show Network this week. All right, so I'm tired after all that. Really. We have virtual co-working. We have virtual co-working happening 3 days this week. Today at 12:55 p.m., Wednesday at 12:50, Friday at 9:55. You may be asking yourself, why does Jessica not start it on the hour? Because we have check-in time before we start. We like to start at the top of the hour, so you need a little bit of that buffer time there. So 12:55, join us today. You can go to the breakthroughshownetwork.club. breakthroughshownetwork.club. You can also get there by .com. Just click the enter the virtual community. When you get there, under workspaces, you'll see collaborative workspace. Once you get in there, you can join us for co-working. Just bring yourself and your to-do list. It is free of charge to attend. We like to hold each other accountable and celebrate our accomplishments. So come join us for that.
Yeah.
We have an all new episode of Beyond 2D tomorrow night. Woo woo. Continuing our fabulous topic of resilience, which is always a good time. We have Project Joy. I will be back on Wednesday with Olivia Ambani. We're going to be talking about a really interesting topic on Wednesday, which is aging and joy in aging, which I think is going to be really good. And then I'll be back with you on Friday. And I am pleased to announce, because you all loved her so very much, Miss Leah came in. She's my youngest daughter. You guys caught her last Wednesday. She is going to be joining me on the show more often because she said, Mama, she's a star. She just wants to do it. So we sat down and put our heads together this morning, and she's going to be joining us more regularly because y'all loved her so much, and she loves you right back. Dee Wallace was not kidding when she came on the show and got to meet my kids afterwards. And she looked at Leah and she said, that one's going to be a star. So we're going to make her one. That's going to be great.
That's
it. That's what we're doing. Do you have anything fun and exciting going on this week? And do you want to tell everybody about the delicious, amazing workshop you have coming up?
Yes, I don't have well, yeah, I get to be on Spirit Sessions on Sunday, so that's something that I am looking forward to. And then I'm going to be teaching harnessing the energy of color. I couldn't get it out for a second. Workshop, and I'm going to be going over different color therapies and taking you through, and it's just gonna be a great time. I really all the tools that I will be providing that you'll be learning can help you carry on throughout the rest of your life. So, and help bring healing. Yeah.
Yes, and we put the link in the show notes as well as in the comments. In the comments, you guys can go get registered. It's super affordable, everybody, and it's a 2-hour workshop. It's going to be a lot of fun, and so make sure you guys check that out. And I'm sure you'll be talking more about that on Spirit Sessions on Sunday as well. I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Love it. We are doing Spirit Sessions and we cannot wait to go to the workshop. Teresa says, I want to thank all of you guys. I did see both Mandy and Danielle come in with comments after we were talking about whatever we were talking about today. Minding your own business. Minding your own business. It's not, sometimes we talk about these things. It's like, you know, in any of our programs here, they're not always the easiest things to talk about. And especially when maybe we might not all be 100% aligned, but I think going back to communication. If we create this space for us to talk about it together, it does become a little bit easier as time goes on. So thank you all for participating. And thank you, Miss Brittany, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It was a blast.
Yes, always fun. And we'll see you in a couple Mondays. When are you coming back? Let's see. Let me see. When are you coming back?
It's in October.
October. We got a few. October 20. Nope. I'm trying to figure.
October 28th.
October 28th, yes. Because we have, what happens is, so we have Marjean's birthday on the 7th, and Trista's on that day. And so Trista's the first Monday, but then the next one, what happens is, so Brittany's usually on the 2nd and 4th Monday, but the second Monday is Canadian Thanksgiving. So we will not be on for that day. That's why we're missing the day. I had to sit here and be like, why are we missing? So that's what we're missing today. But Brittany will be back at the end of October. But you're going to see her before that, because you're going to go ahead and you're going to get registered for her workshop, which is happening on October the 2nd, Harnessing the Energy of Color workshop. You're going to go register for that right after the show is over.
Yeah.
I predict it. It's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening. I love you all so much today. Thank you, Miss Brittany. Thanks all of you, wherever you are. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and every day, because you are the joy. Boop. See you next time.
I've been trying, and I've been lifting myself up. Yeah, I've been